Welcome, everyone, to episode number 129 of Talking Kentucky. My name is Coleman Scott. His name is Caden Holmes. I'm here on a very hot and steamy evening in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where it's like 95 degrees. Caden looks like he is right on top of the Wildcat logo there. You change your background. Caden changes his background like once every 2 to 3 years, I feel like. And it's kind of perfect because you got the hat on that has the logo on it. It's covering up you're like perfectly covering up the UK. So it looks like you are the UK logo and the Wildcats just like around you attacking your head. I like it.
Yeah, it does. And just like Ryan said about this hat, he said it's a boss move. And that's how I feel every time I wear it, because as we all know, it is the best logo, the logo from the 90s.
That's right.
It's probably a perfect segue to the draft we're going to have tonight.
Oh, yeah. No, so tonight, well, it's not going to be the 90s, but
almost the 90s.
It's going to be almost the 90s. So if you guys have been following KSR or following Mario Maitland lately and the stuff he's putting out, they've been doing these little drafts of like the best players, like the Calipari era, or the best players of the Patino era, or Tubby Smith. And we don't want to be total copycats of them, but we are going to be copycats tonight because we think that that's a really cool idea, and we wanted to get on it too. But instead of like a coach era specifically, we're just going to do the 2000s. That's what we decided we would at least do tonight.
Because that's all I know.
Yeah, it's hard for us to be like, oh yeah, Wawa Jones. Yeah, I remember watching him when I was
or Dan Issel, man, what a great player.
Yeah, which he obviously was. No offense, Dan Issel. He's a great player. But we didn't watch him. So we didn't exactly know. I do want to start the show. I'm not going to read this on every episode, but I am going to read it on this episode. And then probably if you listen back to us on podcasts, we'll listen to it, or I'll put it at the beginning of our podcast episodes and stuff. But I want to read a little disclaimer here, for people, just so that they know. Okay, here, and this is serious. That this is serious, despite Caden and I are not very serious all the time. But did want to go ahead and read here our new addition to the show here, which you can find in the YouTube description. You can find it in the caption area of our Facebook post and all kinds of things here. Or if you listen back on podcast, I'll read it on there, and it will be in the description of the podcast episode too, just in case, for your legal needs here.
For ours.
For ours, yeah. The views and opinions expressed on Talking Kentucky, whether by the guest or the host, are solely those of the individuals currently speaking and do not reflect the views of any employers, affiliated institutions, or the podcast itself. Talking Kentucky is an independent, privately produced show created for conversational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing said on this podcast should be interpreted as professional, academic, or personal advice. Listener discretion is advised. So, like Caden, I feel like that last part is especially important. Nothing said on this podcast should be interpreted as professional, academic, or personal advice. Just in case anybody listening was taking our advice for any of those things. First of all, real bad idea. Don't do that. I wouldn't recommend it at all. But Caden, if we're talking about Aldi, if Aldi's your favorite grocery store ever,
which it's not.
Which it sucks. But if you like Aldi, good for you. Caden, we'll still be your friend. We're not going to discriminate against you because you like Aldi. It's you can go to Aldi. we'll still take your call. We'll still.
Yeah, but if we say Aldi sucks, that doesn't mean we want you to go. I don't know, trash Aldi maybe, or break a cart that you got to put a quarter in. That's not what we mean by that.
Yeah, we don't want you to go. And Aldi has not sued us. Full disclosure.
No.
In case that's what you're thinking is happening. That's not the reason for the disclaimer here. But be nice to Aldi too. They didn't do anything wrong other than just being a terrible grocery. They really haven't done anything wrong.
Same thing for Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, Starbucks. We're fine with. We don't like Starbucks, but don't. Same thing for Starbucks. Don't get mad at them. It's not their fault that we don't like them. Okay, it's other people's fault.
You can get mad at Louisville though.
Yeah, you can't get mad at Louisville. Yeah, that's fine. L's down. But anyway, just wanted to start the show by saying that and go Cats. So yeah, and everything. Caden, I think last time I made a list. Last show I made a list of like 10 topics. And I read them off and you picked the number. I liked that. I thought that was fun. I feel like we'll do that again, but tonight we're not going to be doing that because there's really not a lot going on in the world of UK sports or really much of anything right now. We talked about KSR. Full disclosure, I usually do go on KSR and kind of read the headlines and sort of go from there to figure out what's happening in the world of UK sports. But like the headlines at UK sports right now are like, yeah, Kenny Brooks hopes that Kentucky's good next year. It's kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's like
Otega Owe still doesn't know if he's coming back.
Yeah, he's thinking about it. Yeah, Otega Owe got a ham sandwich for lunch today. Yeah, it's like that kind of thing. Definitely. So, hey, Madeline says, being in the broadcast industry my whole life, I completely understand why you need this disclaimer. Yep, absolutely, Madeline. That's right. Shout out. I think Madeline used to work for iHeart, so that's exactly right. But in any case, what we're going to do tonight is this draft that we were talking about. So I think we'll probably primarily stick with that tonight. And we started the show right on time too, Caden. We said we were going to start it at 6:30. We really meant 7. Sorry, we had to deal with some things, but we got it up and running now. But I think we should just jump right in, Caden, to this draft here. This is we should have the little sound effects like ba ba doo dee, ba da doo dee da, all those kind of things with the second pick and the 2000 whatever in NFL draft. Do you remember the 2K games, NBA 2K games that they'd actually have the draft like on the game?
Yeah, you could upload draft classes.
Yep.
Is that what you're talking about?
Well, you could do that, but then there was also where you went through like a summer circuit with your My Player, and then like it actually drafted you, and you went up and shook the guy's hand.
Yeah, I would literally play those summer things just to see if I could get the first pick, and I think I did it once. It was borderline impossible.
It was. Yeah, I usually went to the G League actually. Which I thought was funny. They actually had the G League on there. But yeah, I know, Caden, if you hold the ball for too long, your teammates, got offended and they were like,
your grades started going down.
Your grades started going down. He held the ball too long. It's like, well, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm in the NBA here. Like I'm kind of a big deal. I'm going to try to score.
The part that got me is when you're passing to your teammate and they're right in front of you and they can't catch it, and it puts your grade down a whole letter.
Yeah, I know.
Like you failed a recital on the trumpet or something.
Yeah. What's that like? But anyway, maybe we should start talking about Kentucky basketball now. So we'll put this draft thing up, and I've got this Big Blue history website pulled up here, which if you haven't ever checked that out, it's a good thing to check out. Definitely go for that. See, Madeline says, is always still on the fence. We were just talking about that, Madeline. Always like all the talk right now. Like that's the only thing happening in UK sports is like, is Owe going to go to the draft? On that note, though, Caden, every mock draft that's been put out, I feel like doesn't have Owe.
I saw 59, but that was probably a few weeks ago, right?
Like
so I think he's fell off.
It either has him at the very, toward the end or not getting drafted. So I got to feel like he's coming back, right? Like, why would you go at that
And how much money he's making? He's going to be making millions at Kentucky, right?
I know, yeah. Bruce Pearl offered him a bunch in barbecue too. So, and
he's always offering barbecue.
Yeah, he is.
I think that's his go-to. He's kind of like Cody.
Shout out Bruce Pearl. I'm sad that Bruce Pearl ever got in trouble for his. He just wanted to barbecue for some players, right? That's all he wanted to do. Now we're paying players.
Now we're giving them Ferraris.
Yeah, I know. Let the man grill them some hot dogs. Like what's the harm in that? I feel like Bruce Pearl's just being a good dude. At that point. So
being a good dude until they started whipping our floor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can't do that. Claude says yes, Owe's coming back. So I don't know if that's scoop
or first.
Yeah, Claude says Owe's coming back. So Claude, we're gonna hold you to that there. So hopefully that's the case. Katie,
hey, have AI like ask AI to pick which one of us goes first.
Okay,
they can do that, right? It's smart enough to do that.
I feel like it can. I'll say, hey, who goes first in our Talkin Kentucky draft, me or Caden? I feel like that's a fair question, right? It says, that sounds like a great segment idea, but unless there's a set rule or past precedent you do follow, there are a few fun ways you can decide who goes first. Okay.
You just need a name, AI.
Option 1, coin flip on air. Keeps it fair and adds a little live suspense. Yeah. You can even make it a bit of a running tradition. Oh, yeah. I like that. Option 2, loser of the last draft. Well, we haven't had a draft, so we can't do that one. Option 3, age before beauty. I like this one. One of you gets to go first based on age and let the other go first if they're better looking. Okay, well,
what?
That's
subjective?
We haven't had great history with talking about those topics on the show before. So we're going to go to option number 4, rock, paper, scissors. Quick and entertaining, especially if it happens on video. If you're trying to settle it now without a gimmick, I can just pick randomly for you if you want. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Want me to decide who goes first?
Please.
Yeah, please decide. That's what I'm going to say. All right. By the power invested in me as the impartial draft commissioner of Talkin Kentucky, Caden goes first. Draft wisely and may the best Kentuckian win.
I was going to tell you it's rigged if you said it was going to be you.
Yep, so, that's right.
I'm glad it's a fair. I'm glad AI was fair this time.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's right. Clyde says AI don't know nothing. It says false information all the time. Yeah, well, good to know, Clyde. Okay, anyway,
well, it did well this time, Clyde.
It did. Yeah, it did. So, Caden, you get to make the first selection here.
I don't even have to think about this because, there's really one true option here. I want my. This can be. You don't have to pick a point guard first if you don't want to. I think you should be able to pick anyone.
But
I'm picking a point guard because I want him to run my offense, and who other than the point guard himself? I'm going with 5'8" Tyler Ulis.
Tyler Ulis, I like it. Yeah, he's probably not the first choice for a lot of people, but I feel like you got to have a floor general, right? There's a lot of merit to having a guy like Tyler Ulis on your team. And speaking of Auburn, remember when he kind of beefed up on that one dude on Auburn for a little bit? And he was like, yeah, You want some of this? And he was like 2 feet taller than him.
Yeah.
Um,
A T
but
you want setting the example for your team for sure.
you do. That's for sure. You know what? I'm going to go sort of on the opposite end here. I feel like one of the best basketball players in the Kentucky basketball history, especially recent Kentucky basketball history. He played a big role in 2012, and he didn't play a big role offensively in the 2012 national championship. But without him, we couldn't have won. Caden already knows who I'm going to pick there. Center Anthony Davis. So I think we bookmarked it there, Caden. We got point guard Tyler Eulis and center Anthony Davis. So I feel like I can't in good faith not draft Anthony Davis for my first pick. So
yeah. It doesn't surprise me. I figured those would be the first 2 picks.
Yep.
Either way, but I guess this time I'm gonna go. I got to have someone to match up against Anthony Davis there, and I need someone who's gonna talk some trash, who can dunk on him, who can muscle him around a little bit, maybe even throw an elbow into him, just like he did to Louisville. I'm gonna go with DeMarcus Cousins as my second pick.
Oh yeah, you got to do that. Yeah, you got to have. I mean, Boogie would be my second choice at center for sure. Carl Towns a little bit lower on the list for me, honestly. Yeah, like how you just said, Big Cuz on there. That's nice. Yeah, what do you think about that? Where's Carl Towns rank? I mean, I guess we'll kind of see, but I'm surprised. I'm kind of surprised you did pick Cousins over Carl Towns, honestly.
I just want the team that's gonna like fight if they have to win the game.
Well, you know who said that? Oscar.
They ain't going to They ain't going to take any crap for nothing.
Oscar Sheboy said he'd be willing to die. Right when we did lose that game against Auburn, but that's okay.
Madeline can't see our charts. Too small.
Well,
can I make it? Maybe make it a little bigger.
You might be able to. You might be able to zoom in a little bit there. Might not be able to see our logo, but making me dizzy.
Well, I don't know if I can make any bigger than that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Man, you're like disappearing into the Wildcat there. It's kind of funny.
Looking at yeah, it is a little small. If you're looking on the phone, maybe turn your phone sideways, Madeline. Might help a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like it's my pick, right?
Yeah, it's your pick.
I mean, I don't want to be cliche here, but I feel like I got to go with John Wall, right?
All right. That's fair.
You got to do the John Wall. You can play the song. He's got how many Kentucky basketball players have a rap song named after him? I mean, I feel like he kind of, without John Wall, I mean, that first year of Cal wouldn't have even been what it was. I mean, we were good, but like to have the excitement and immediate just sort of injection of being the cool school again, wouldn't have happened without John Wall. Obviously, he's the centerpiece. So, and there hasn't been a guy. I mean, we all compare like, oh man, he's the next John Wall or whatever. Talking about like DJ Wagner. For somebody like, oh yeah, he's going to be the next John Wall, and then nobody's even come close, right? So do you think there'll ever be another guy like that, which is like as much as quick and as a freak athlete as he was?
To this day, he's got the best high school mixtape I've ever seen.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
It doesn't even come close.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know if there will be. There could be. I mean,
Anthony Davis too, for that matter. I mean, I feel like the only guy that's come close to either one of those two was Zion, and even he, I don't think reached that level. Honestly,
no,
definitely not.
Those dudes are like once every 10 years, maybe, kind of guys.
Yeah. So. Just got a message from Josh Hart, by the way. Sorry, I can't make the show tonight. Wish it was Friday evening. I never get to watch it live, and I apologize. Does that mean we have to do a Friday show for Josh at some point? Or is he just going to have to
There might be a day we can't do Thursday. We may have to do Friday. So,
hey, at least
my turn.
Marie Scott says, how tall is John Wall? I think he's 6'4". Is that right?
I think he was 6'4". Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that height too.
Yeah.
Can you imagine prime Ulis versus prime John Wall? That'd be a battle.
Yeah. It would be. It would be.
They're very different players.
But yeah, it's your turn. I think we should play we should have played horse for this. See who went first. Live on the air. I feel like that would have been good.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with my next pick, a dude that I think back to the North Carolina game. A dude that is gonna get a bucket when you need a bucket. Or he's gonna go and dunk on their head, or he's gonna make a three, or I think he sent the Georgia game into overtime that year. I'm gonna go with Malik Monk at shooting guard.
Malik Monk. That's a good pick, I feel like. And Clyde even said that, I think, earlier here. Yeah, shooting guard Malik Monk. Yeah, how could you not? How many did he drop against North Carolina? Right, 47? Is that right?
I think it was 47, yeah.
Yeah, something close to that. I feel like for my shooting guard, I got to go with somebody that dropped a few more points than Malik Monk. Malik got close. You probably already know who I'm going to say, Caden. It's got to be Jody Meeks, right? Dipping back to the Billy Gillespie era. Is Jody Meeks the only good thing about the Billy Gillespie era?
Didn't he get Patrick Patterson too?
He did, but sometimes I wonder how he got Patrick Patterson.
Well, wasn't he our only 5-star recruit in 10 years?
Yeah.
So I remember that was a big deal.
Sometimes I forget that Patrick Patterson played for Cal too. Didn't he?
He played on that team.
For what? Isn't that crazy? That
10 team.
Man, like it just doesn't feel like he played for Cal's first year.
If we would have had Jody Meeks, that would have been a for sure championship.
You would think. I don't know. It depends if Jody could shoot against West Virginia that year. Nobody else could. So Clyde says no Jamal Murray. Hold on a minute, Clyde.
We're talking about time. We're talking about UK, and yes, we're getting there. But time at UK, Jamal Murray, I feel like took off once he got to the NBA, right?
Yeah, I feel like so. Yeah. That team lost to Indiana, Clyde, in the second round. I feel like we can't start there.
Yeah, but who did Jody Meeks lose to? To be fair.
Well, Tyler Ulis also lost to Indiana, and he was the first overall pick. But anyway, we're gonna move on now.
Kaden, you mean Anthony Davis lost to Indiana?
He did lose. He did also lose the game. He did too. That Tyler Ulis and Jamal Murray lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament to Indiana.
I keep forgetting Ulis and Murray were on the same team.
Yep, that's my freshman year at UK. Scalabiciera was also on that team, right? I think Scalabiciera.
Is that going to be your pick? Is that what you're saying?
Oh no,
okay.
No.
Okay,
definitely not. Yeah,
just checking.
Yeah, that wouldn't go that far.
So this isn't my next pick. This isn't going to help my shooting at all. But a dude that I have talked about countless times on this show that just does the dirty work and gets the job done, and he's big and strong and athletic, is Michael K. Gilchrist. That's going to be my next pick at small forward.
Yep. I mean,
he won a championship, right?
Yep, he did. So, 2012. He did a lot of that dirty work in the championship against Kansas. Yep. So, man, I feel like we've already talked about him. I feel like I got to pick him for power forward here, Patrick Patterson. Yeah, all right. I feel like that's a good. I mean,
nice little hook shot.
Yeah. I feel like he's the quintessential 4. I
hit a jump shot every now and then.
yeah, every now and then. Yeah, I got to go Patterson. I like it. So carry on. Okay, so I think. Well, yeah, you gotta choose your fourth starter here, and then I'll choose mine.
I think I'm gonna go here with well, yeah, I'll go with the dude who's in the NBA now. I can't even keep track of what teams they play for, but I remember him hitting the game winner against LSU when he was at Kentucky. He was just a powerhouse and would also dunk on someone's face. So it would be a great front court to have with Cousins. I think I'm gonna go with Julius Randle for this one.
Oh, there you go. I like it. One of the more underrated players, I think, in Kentucky basketball history. Don't you?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I mean, nobody ever thinks of him, but like we got it to the championship that year, and he was a stud. Like, I mean, he was consistent all year too. Is the thing. Like,
Someone on KSR, was it Ryan Lemon or Drew Franklin, said that he like put him on the back to get to the championship game. He kind of did.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Uh, man, I think Michael Kidd Gilchrist was a good pick for your three there. I feel like. You know what? I got to go for somebody who I think had the biggest jump from freshman year to sophomore year, and somebody else that did a lot of the dirty work in that championship game in 2012. I got to go Terrence Jones, I think,
Right.
for the three. Yeah.
Yeah, he can play. He can play 3 or 4.
Probably could. That's quite a Cal lineup there, isn't it? John Wall, Jody Meeks, Terrence Jones, Patterson, and Davis. I feel like that's like an old school John Calipari starting five there. I feel like, and then you got Tyler Eulis, Malik Monk, Michael Kidd Gilchrist, Randall, and DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with either one of those teams.
I feel like they beat St. Peter's. I feel like they'd be all right. I think they get out of the first weekend. I think they'd be okay. So, Caden, I feel like, do you want to go ahead and jump in with your? Why
don't you pick first for this next one?
Oh man, well, you're putting me on the spot.
Keep it fair here.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're all about keeping it fair. I'm talking Kentucky. Let's see. Man, you're giving me a blank slate here, and all I can think about are Calipari people, just because that's like most of when I grew up.
And really, like, if you wanted to have Amari Williams as point guard, go for it. I don't think we have any rules here.
I don't. But thanks for the offer. Did you see this post, by the way, that Calipari was coaching? He coached 18 players that are in the 2025 NBA playoffs, and they all played for Kentucky, by the way. So 18 players that all played for Kentucky.
That kind of hurts.
Coached by Cal that are in the NBA playoffs. That's kind of a crazy stat. For my point guard, for my second team here, or being on the bench, he was my classmate. I had a statistics class with him. I'm going to go De'Aaron Fox here. Yeah. But, yeah, I know. It is I
kind of wanted him, Coleman. That hurts a little bit.
Well, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. But anyway.
What class was it that you had him?
You had with him? Statistics. Yeah. That was quite a class. We had Bam Adebayo was also in there. And we had Boom Williams.
He would be a good pick.
He would be a good pick. Yeah, a real good pick. Brad Calipari, I think, was also in that class. So we had a bunch of folks in that class. So yeah.
I had classes with like baseball players and stuff. I never had one with a basketball player.
Yeah. I did a group project with Quade Green one time. Shout out Quade. Not going to pick you on my team.
Didn't he transfer within like a month though? Or
A
no,
year.
that was his. Was that his second year?
Yeah,
When he transferred?
That was the second year. Transferred to
Okay.
Washington, along with. I feel like for a little while there, Kentucky was a Washington basketball feeder program. I feel like we were sending everybody over there, right?
We were sending the Washington pipeline.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Okay, this next pick is a little. It gets a little dicier here in the second platoon. There's just so many options.
Yeah, that's the point.
You could go Brandon Knight, or you could.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Brandon Knight's also very underrated. I have to say. He had to follow John Wall.
So. Yeah, and he hit that buzzer beater against Ohio State in the tournament. You know, that's one that I think that's forgotten about quite a bit. So yeah, shout out Brandon Knight.
I think I'm gonna go. When did Tajon Prince play? Does he count in this?
He played in the 2000s. Yeah.
He did, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure.
5 threes against North Carolina.
You want me to ask AI?
I don't know if I trust it, but sure.
When did Tayshaun Prince play? It was in the 2000s. Because he hit that against North Carolina.
2000, yeah. 2001, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think so. I think I was definitely in the 2000s. Yeah, I feel like it's safe to say that. Well, he played from 98 to 2002.
Okay, so he counts.
He counts, yeah.
So he played for 4 years at Kentucky?
Yeah, it wouldn't have today. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, then he went and won an NBA championship. I'm going to go with Tajon as my small forward.
Yeah, I like it.
He's not a prince, he's a king.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you know, this is going to be this isn't going to be a popular pick for a lot of people. But this is a personal choice here. Just for, you know, my own personal reasons. Shooting guard, my man, Patrick Sparks.
Oh yeah.
I got to have him on my team somewhere. So yeah, I'm picking P Sparks. Sparks. Yeah. So, I mean, he's my role model. I mean, he's a dude that just stayed outside and shot the threes, and that's what I did. So,
yep. He even had that between the legs pass on that fast break that one time too.
Mm-hmm.
He's just solid
hit the from free throw against
Mecklenburg County.
Yeah,
hit the free throws against. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of good stuff happening there. So.
Dude, someone to go up against De'Aaron Fox, that's a tough ask there.
Yeah, I mean, Lonzo Ball, I hear, is pretty good.
Wouldn't go that far.
No offense, Lonzo.
Who could athletically guard De'Aaron Fox? I don't know if I have an answer for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Derek Jasper do it?
Michael Jordan? We're talking about Kentucky people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Derek Jasper to Michael Jordan there.
Yeah. Saul Smith.
Lamont Butler, honestly, might be able to.
Yeah, he might be.
If he didn't injure his shoulder, he'd probably be on my list here. Yeah, I'm going to go with Brandon Knight now.
I assume all these people are in their prime. Like, I wouldn't want Patrick Sparks coming off my bench right now, but in his prime.
Yeah, isn't he? He's 40-something now, right?
Yeah, he's a man. He's 40. Yeah,
he can still shoot those threes, though.
Yeah,
I don't think you forget how to do that.
I think it's all muscle memory. Yeah. So who are you going with?
I went with Brandon Knight.
Oh, you picked Brandon Knight already? Oh,
just did. Yep.
Oh, I already forgot. Okay, well, good for you, man. Okay, I got to pick.
Okay.
He hadn't come off the board already, so I got to go with my other stats classmate, I got to go with Bam Adebayo at center.
Are you putting him at center or power
Yeah.
forward?
Yeah, I'm putting him at center. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? Move him to power forward.
You want him at both?
Yeah, yeah. You can just play both. Yeah, we could play 4 and 5. That's fine. I got De'Aaron Fox, so doesn't matter.
I'm going to go someone who also won a championship. So I got a championship member on both of these platoons. I think would be probably smart. I'm going to go with Deron Lamb.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, one of the best shooters of all time at Kentucky. I feel like I don't think Deron Lamb ever shot a 3 and it didn't go in.
Can't remember one at least.
Which of course he did, so that's why we got to have our disclaimer. So if people, take
that serious.
Yeah. So don't sue us. But yeah, I think that's it. Okay, my pick. This is why I put Bam at power forward. I'm going to go Karl Anthony Towns at center. So, Ken, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I feel like you're going down with this team.
Maybe with this platoon, it's getting a little tougher.
Yeah, you want to talk about a platoon? Yeah, this is pretty good platoon we got going here.
I love how you got Bam and Karl Anthony Towns and then Patrick Sparks at shooting.
Yep.
Sparks gonna have one job on this platoon.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yep, he does. That's right. It gets harder as you go.
It does get harder as you go. Man, I don't know. It gets tough.
It does. Especially when you're live on the air, trying to think of these folks. It gets hard. You wouldn't think it'd be this hard, but it kind of is. To come up.
I can think of folks, but I don't know if I can think of many folks that's gonna beat Cat or Bam.
Hey, so, I gotta think of a shooting forward that's gonna guard Tayshaun Prince. So
Clyde has a very good point and might have given me my pick here.
Oh yeah, Claude's your assistant coach over here.
I completely forgot.
Claude's your GM over here.
I completely forgot about him until Clyde just said that. So yeah, I'm gonna go Willie at center. Thanks, Clyde.
Yeah.
I literally used to see him outside of my dorm room. I don't know how I forgot about him.
Yeah, I mean that's can't do that.
You could go someone else we recently saw at small forward.
Yeah,
Bobby Perry.
Yeah, we did recently see. I thought you were going to say on this year's team, but we did see Bobby Perry literally, actually, and Ron DeSantis. What are the odds that we see Bobby Perry and Ron DeSantis on the same day in the same building?
We didn't see Ron. We just knew he was there.
Yeah, I think it looked like that, Ron. Yeah, we did see him. He was there. So, shout out. This year, I feel like I want to give this year's team a little bit of love at shooting forward, or small forward, not shooting forward. That's basically what it would be on this year's team, though, shooting forward instead of small forward. My mom says Travis Perry. Well, can we include Travis Perry anymore? Or see,
he's 2000's player.
He is, but he's going to Ole Miss. Clyde says, "Hello, Brad." Oh, is Brad in here watching us without saying hello? Brad's in the chat without saying hello. Yeah, if we gotta say hello, Brad. Unless he's talking about Brad Calipari, maybe, which I would not choose for small forward. By the way, just in case anybody's wondering. Man, dude, it gets harder as you go.
You said someone on this year's team.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to Tagovailoa at small forward.
That's a good pick.
I'm going to Tagovailoa. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can't go wrong with him. Yeah, gotta have him represented. So, Claude says Andrew Carr. Yeah, let's have Andrew Carr at running point.
Clyde also, well,
Thanks for clarifying, Clyde. Harvey, not Calipari.
I could go two ways with this, but I think I'll save the other one for maybe one of my reserves, unless you pick him. I'm gonna go. Clyde also mentioned this guy, and I was trying to, before he said that, I was trying to see if I'd pick him at center or power forward. I think I'm gonna put Oscar Sheboy at power forward here.
I don't hate it. You get some rebounds. That's for sure.
Is that how you spell his name?
Sure. Cheshebwa. Yeah.
It starts with a T, right?
It does. Yeah. Hey, I like this. Now we got to pick.
Yeah, you get your rebounds, and you can also get your team preacher.
Yeah.
So you can get their spirits high before the games.
Yeah, you do. I feel like that's right. Brad says he's saying hello here. He's saying he's trying to figure out what we were talking about. Yeah. We're doing a Talkin' Kentucky All 2000's draft, as you see here. So that's what we're doing tonight.
He's trying to figure out what we're talking about, just like he tries to figure out what we're talking about in our group text.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So first reserve pick here. I feel like you've got a floor general on your team. You got Tyler Eulis. He can kind of serve as the coach. I got to go with somebody who is. Oh crap! No, I can't. I can't because he didn't play in the 2000s. I don't think. Oh crap!
Were you about to go Travis Ford?
I had this great segue. No, I was going to go Mark Pope. I was going to say we got to have a kind of player coach on the team, but I don't think he played it because he was on the '96 championship team, but I don't think he quite got into the 2000s. So I guess I can't go him.
Brad Keith Bogans didn't play in the 2000s, did he?
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, what do you think, Caden? You want to pick one first? I mean, there's a lot of great options still on the table here. Brennan Canada.
Yeah, I didn't even think about
Devin Askew.
If I could go back, I would have picked him to guard De'Aaron Fox.
Oh yeah,
but
I mean, you can still put him on the bench. Davion Mintz.
I'm not putting Rondos on my reserves.
Yeah, in reserve, Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Oh, so Keith Bogans was in the 2000s. Yeah, see, I didn't know. 03 was before I actually started watching. I just know Tayshaun Prince because I have seen him play in the NBA.
Yeah, right.
I was going to go. Clyde just nailed it. I was going to go with Ramel Smooth. My first reserve.
There you go. I feel like I'm pretty deep with my front court here with Patrick Patterson, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, and Karl-Anthony Towns. So I feel like I don't really need any big guys anymore necessarily. I'm going to go with somebody. I feel like I'm kind of thin at the 3 spot a little bit. So I might go a little throwback guy here. I might go a little Kalina Azubuike here for one of my reserves. I like how you wrote smooth on there.
With the V, yeah. How do you spell Azubuike?
Azubuike.
Ike, okay.
Okay, you were close. It's not like having to spell Krzyzewski, Mike Krzyzewski, which isn't it. If you've ever looked up how to spell Krzyzewski, it's pretty crazy. It's KRZYZEWSKI.
It's basically like, think about how you would spell it and then do it the opposite.
Dude, he's 78. Did you know he's that old? I didn't know he's 78.
That didn't surprise me.
Yeah. And well, anyway. Caden, your last reserve that you're going for here.
This is about to be a throwback.
Okay.
Another dude, this dude like will dunk in your face and then just stand there and not play any defense, but you don't care because of what he just did. I'm gonna go with Randolph Morris.
Okay, I like it. Yeah. I can see it. Yeah. Man, there's a bunch of good people still on the board
Randolph.
here, Caden. We still got Sheree Thomas still on the board.
You got the Alaskan Assassin too.
Preston Lemaster.
I don't know who that is. I'm talking about Ramon Harris.
We got I like that you picked Randolph Morris. That I was just naming off some of Randolph's teammates there. But yeah, we still got a bunch of Robbie Moss, Antoine Barber. We still got Marquise Estel.
Antoine Walker was in the 90s though, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure he had to have been. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was because he was there for Patino. So,
Clyde's a good pick. You talking about Randolph, Clyde?
Dusty Mills.
Brad Coleman already picked Jody. Didn't you pick him with your second? Or your third?
Yeah,
I think
he's up there right underneath John Wall. Yeah, he's up there. I've got to pick. Somebody that's been a friend to me. He was my coach at Calipari camp. I've seen him several times in Winchell's. We've both seen him, Caden, working in Wildcat Warehouse. I feel like my last reserve's got to be Perry Stevenson, who has the best dunk in the history of Kentucky basketball in the NIT. So I got to go Perry Stevenson for my. How about that reserve? How about that bench? Kalina Azubuike and Perry Stevenson.
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't have guessed that our reserves were gonna be those two, Smooth and Randolph. But
no,
I'm not mad about it at all.
No, yeah, I feel like when
you didn't pick Joe Crawford when I said Ramel.
Yeah, I would have picked Travis Perry, but he transferred. Kidding.
I would have picked Reed Shepherd if he didn't wear Arkansas shirt.
Yeah, that's right. Reed, you'd be on this list. You might even be a starter if you didn't wear a freaking Arkansas shirt. Although that's your right, so no offense.
Read our discretion.
Yeah. But anyway, the question here is who wins. So I think Caden and I both respectfully think that each one of our teams win, but you can tell us in the comments, or you can call in and tell us 502-234-1504. Give us a shout. Love to talk to you, and maybe you can tell us which one of these teams you think wins in a head-to-head matchup, Team Coleman or Team Caden. So my team: John Wall, Jody Meeks, Terrence Jones, Patrick Patterson, Anthony Davis. Against Caden starting five: Tyler Eulis, Malik Monk, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Julius Randle, and DeMarcus Cousins. How much you think a ticket to that game would sell for, Caden? It'd be a pretty high ticket, I feel like, especially in Rupp Arena. They're hiking the prices lately.
There would be some fights. There'd be some cat on cat issues here.
Yeah, there would be. Then we got De'Aaron Fox, Patrick Sparks, Otega Owe, Bam Adebayo, and Karl Anthony Towns versus Brandon Knight, Garon Lamb, Tayshaun Prince, Oscar Tshiebwe, and Willie Cauley-Stein. Man, I want to see that front court matchup. Bam Adebayo, Oscar Tshiebwe, Karl Anthony, Willie Cauley-Stein. That'd be insane.
I'm just laughing because I can't even imagine Patrick Sparks and Owe on the same team.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But you're on with Talkin' Kentucky. Who's this? I think we got Clyde on. Clyde, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you now, man. How's it going?
Good. It's going good.
Oh,
can't complain.
Who do you think wins in this matchup? Team Coleman or Team Caden here? All 2000s.
I'm gonna have to go with you, Coleman. I think you got the best list, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Because you know why?
why's
Because you
that?
got Anthony Davis. Because you got Anthony Davis on your
I
team.
mean, that's a fair
Hey,
assessment.
and Tyler Eulis isn't a winner.
But I like Caden's list too, though. I like both of y'all's lists. I thought you guys did a pretty good job with both of the lists. Of course, I love the fact that Caden added Oscar, obviously. And I like both of the lists. I mean, I'm cool with either list.
Well, that's got
And of course, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
just
I'd be
saying,
okay with either team too.
yeah, I'd be okay. Yeah, if I had to coach either one of those teams, I feel like I'd be doing all right. Yeah, I don't think I'd lose to St. Peter's or anything.
You'd
But
have to coach.
No.
yeah, you wouldn't have to coach. But Clyde, so Caden's first pick was Tyler Eulis. My first pick was Anthony Davis. If you couldn't choose either one of those, who would your first pick be?
John Wall.
Well, I was going to say let's take John Wall out of the equation too, because that's kind of the obvious third pick.
Okay.
So if you had to choose not one of those three,
Okay. Oh, probably. Well, can I pick De'Aaron Fox?
oh, you can pick De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, it's fine.
No. I want to go with. Never mind. I want to go with the big.
Okay.
I would probably go with Julius Randle just because he carried the team in 2014. I'd probably go with Randle on it.
Well,
And he's very underrated. I mean, you're right. Nobody talks about him anyways. It's crazy how nobody talks about him. It does blow my mind, honestly.
Same thing
You
with
man,
tonight.
yeah, it's fun doing this kind of thing. It's kind of hard to do too, to just think of a player. So Claude, who do you think is the best player of the Calipari era? Yeah, are you more of an Anthony Davis kind of guy or John Wall?
Yeah, Anthony Davis. I mean, he won every possible award. He was the best freshman. He's the best freshman ever, literally ever. There's not a better freshman than him. I guess you can say Melo, but Melo didn't impact the game on both ends like Anthony Davis did. Anthony Davis impacted the games on offense and defense. And Anthony Davis won every award. He won National Player of the Year. He won Final Four MVP. He won a national championship. I mean, there's really nothing else to it. So I'm gonna go with Davis. But my second pick, I know you didn't ask me this, but to me, the second best player he ever had is at Kentucky is definitely either Wall or Eulis, but probably John Wall. And then I think the third one might be Karl Towns because, I mean, those are all three number one picks. So
he's coming off the bench for me.
It's hard to make an argument against that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Clyde, I don't know if you saw the over-under win total for Kentucky football. I'll ask you this since you're a football guy, but it's at 4. It's at 4.5. So, are you taking the over or under on that? Normally, I would smash the over, but with looking at the schedule this year and knowing what happened last year, I wanted to ask your opinion.
I'm gonna go with the under. I think we're going 3-9 or 2-10. Honestly, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I might have to go with the under too, which is sad. I hope they prove us wrong. But you never know. But you got anything else for us before we let you go, Clyde?
With football and Stoops, I mean, it's excuse me, sorry. With Stoops and everything, man, he's lost his grit, man. I mean, I watched his interview about after spring practice, and it was just the same old, same old. I'm not energized about this team. I don't feel good at all about this team. There's no hype about this team, and that scares me. Normally, you would have Vince Marrow or Stoops or Brad White or somebody would say something about what player that they like the most out of the team. You don't hear a single glimpse out of that at all. And none of them. And you don't see them around. It's like they're staying locked in their house. You don't see them out anywhere like you used to, and they're just all quiet. And it's just like, maybe we are at the end of the Stoops era at the next season, because if things are like this in the off season, I mean, the regular season is going to go probably bad, and I expect a lot of empty seats. And I don't know if you've heard this morning, but they have stopped people from parking at Kroger Field this year for football games. Nobody
man,
can park
it's a
at Kroger
mistake.
Field for football unless you're tailgating. But if you're just
Yeah.
regularly parking, you cannot park there.
Yeah, I feel like that's a mistake for sure. But
Yeah.
well, Claude, thanks for calling in as always. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Go Cats.
Go Cats. Okay, and I feel like people have debated this before, but who would win in a one-time exhibition game, 2015 or 2012 Kentucky?
I'm still gonna go with 2012.
I think I am too. I
That
think I am
team
too.
just
I just
made
don't see. Yeah,
every game look easy.
yeah. I wasn't even nervous before the national championship. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna win. It's like it's no problem playing Kansas. Yeah, whatever. We're gonna win.
2015 was obviously we were perfect for 38 games, but some of those games were like, I don't know about this.
Real close.
We might lose, or we were down until the last few minutes on some of those games. But 2012 just pretty much stomped everyone.
In some ways, this is kind of a hot take, but I feel like in some ways this year, if Owe does indeed come back, I feel like this roster can be similar to 2015 in some ways with the depth that we have if everybody stays healthy, and that includes Jaden Quaintance. I don't think we'll be as good, but I think the depth of the team, of the roster's similar. What do you think about that?
The talent won't be as good just because
Yeah.
of the amount of NBA players that team had, but the experience might make it more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
As far as less stupid mistakes and more team ball, and could be a fun team to watch for sure.
Yeah, 2012 Claude is my favorite all-time team too. I think it's got to be. I mean, people say that '96 team is the best Kentucky team all time, but you got to put the 2012 champions up there. I feel like, hey, are you? Oh, you're putting bench on there. I was like,
yeah, I'm trying to make it look a little cleaner because we'll probably end up posting this afterwards.
I'm gonna put it up for a bunch of different polls and see what people think, who people think is gonna win. I'm curious to see. I think that's gonna be fun. But
I like the old school picks like Randolph or Jody Meeks or all those.
Yep.
It was just, even though we kind of weren't good back for some of those years, it was still fun to watch those dudes. And they actually played for several years for us.
We should do an all-time walk-on team. Like, who had the best 30 seconds at Kentucky?
I don't even know who that would be. Like,
when you got like Brad,
did John Hood score any?
Well, yeah, Jared Polson, I feel like would have to be up there. Brennan Canada, Sam Malone. Yeah,
we're impressively good at naming walk-ons.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. Claude says,
who's that dude? Kareem Watkins is another one.
Kareem Watkins, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think he still plays for somebody. Probably, I think didn't he play for Arkansas last year?
He did.
Yeah, I mean, he did play, but he was on.
Hey, I could have been a walk-on at Oklahoma State.
He could have been. Yeah,
they're having open tryouts.
Do you think they should do that? By the way, at Kentucky, before we finish up here, do you think they should do that every year? Now that they did that the first year with the dude from Madisonville and kind of,
yeah, they should.
I feel like that's just
play
cool.
No matter what. It is cool.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. He had to earn his spot on the team every day. Apparently, he had to retry out for the team every day.
Day.
That's what Mark Pope said.
Can you imagine having to guard Owe to try out for your team?
Yeah, that would be not fun. My mom says I played one-on-one with John Wall at Calipari camp, which is true. I did, and I won too. I schooled him. You know, he couldn't keep up with me.
You're too fast for him.
Yeah, the best. Again, that's why we had the disclaimer on here. So just so everybody knows.
Brad, I know John Hood won a walk on, but he didn't play. It was my point. Or we can say John. We can say either walk ons or DNP did not play.
DNPs, yeah. Is Shaden Sharp considered a DNP? or is he considered a walk on?
He goes in the other category.
Yeah. He's a DNWTP. Did not want to play.
He's a yeah.
Yeah.
He's an SDNP, scholarship, but did not play.
Yeah. That's for sure. But well, guys, I know that was kind of a different little episode. Not a lot going on in Kentucky sports right now, so we thought we'd come on and do that draft for you tonight. We'll put it up on social media, and y'all can share it and see who you think would win in that scenario. But notice how Shaden Sharp didn't make our roster. We prefer to put people on there that actually want to play. But is he still in the NBA, by the way?
I don't know. Was he one of the 18 they counted?
Nope. I think he's playing for the Trailblazers at one point.
Did he get hurt at some point?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
He seriously did in the beginning of the career. I don't know if he's still hurt or.
I think he did. Yeah,
I don't think he's in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. Well, is it? Do we have to do Talkin 2000's? Is that what we're doing?
Sounds good to me.
It's a good name. I feel like that's a real good name. Talkin 2000's. Well, for Coleman Scott, for Caden Holmes, and for Rave Moss, as Brad says down there, this has been episode number 129 of Talkin Kentucky. And we'll see you guys next time. Go Cats.
Go Smooth.
Go Smooth.